Hey everyone, thank you so much for clicking on this Netflix review. The fact you're willing to sacrifice a few minutes out of your day to watch my content really does mean the world to me. Today I'm joined by my awesome fiance, Psycadillo. I call her Danny.
That is my name.
That is her real name. But you can find her on her socials under Psycadillo. And do you want to tell us why you're in this video?
Yeah, so Caleb and I are both actually linked to Jupiter's Legacy because while he's reviewing, or I suppose both of us are reviewing Jupiter's Legacy, I'm actually working together with Netflix to bring Grace, or Lady Liberty, to life.
So Danny is a cosplayer. So if you're at all curious about cosplay, seriously go check out her YouTube channel. She's the best Wonder Woman in the world. The bestest. I freaking love her. So she's got my endorsement. But this is just a work in progress. For those of you that are unaware, Jupiter's Legacy is only coming out in 3 days' time. So this is not the completed project. She's still going to be working on everything. She looks so flipping cool with the wig. Flipping awesome. So yeah, this is just her work in progress of Lady Liberty. And I feel very underdressed. So I am just going to go ahead and change myself. So there we go. Now we're both dressed.
Caleb, this was my bit.
I want to dress up too.
It's not even the right property. I'm the cosplayer.
Okay, so let's just talk about Jupiter's Legacy, which was awesome.
Absolutely phenomenal.
Jupiter's Legacy was flipping fantastic. Okay, let me just quickly get this off. But I'm wearing a sweater as well. But okay, just so you guys are aware. My 3 favorite Netflix properties: Stranger Things, The Witcher, and now Jupiter's Legacy. I flipping loved this series.
Top 3 for me as well.
Okay, so what is Jupiter's Legacy actually about? Well, it's an adaptation of a comic series, which we actually have not read yet, but one of our very close cosplay friends, Jack's Cosplay. So just a little shout out to him. He loves Jupiter's Legacy and Jupiter's Circle and all of those different comics. And so he was telling us about all of this before we had the opportunity to watch it. And from what he's told us, this seems like it's a really faithful adaptation. Because while we were watching it, he's like, oh, did you get to this part where this happens? And we're like, how do you know? He's like, no, that happened in the comics. And we're like, okay, well then clearly it's a good adaptation. What were your thoughts on the series?
It was literally the superhero property that we needed. That we wanted and we needed.
Yes.
And it delivered.
It was so flipping good. I loved every second of it. The Utopian, who we will talk about because he's literally the main character, is probably one of my favorite superheroes now. And Danny and I have mixed feelings about him. But I think he's so flipping cool. He's literally an old Superman. Who doesn't love that? And we have so many other unique characters, such as Lady Liberty.
Lady Liberty is my absolute favorite, and that's not just because I'm cosplaying her.
She kicks so much ass. She actually has more fights than anyone else in the series.
She does.
She kicks so much ass. She's so cool.
And speaking about the fights were super well done.
Yes. So let's just break this down. This review, you can clearly see we're passionate about this series, that we love this series. But what we're going to do is we're going to be as straightforward and unbiased as possible. We're going to break down everything from the cinematography, the choreography, the acting, the story, plot developments, character. No spoilers though. No spoilers.
Yeah.
But we're going to be as unbiased as possible and give you our honest to goodness review. So you brought up choreography. Tell us a little bit about your feelings on that.
I really enjoyed it. There's this common misconception, and I guess it's not really a misconception, that when action sequences are ported, especially superhero related stuff, are ported into television as opposed to movies, things are downgraded a little bit because of budget, special effects, that kind of thing. But this series nailed everything, whether that was the actual choreography or it was the special effects that came from that.
The VFX were insane.
It was not even the VFX, like the actual
makeup,
blood, gore, it was amazing.
It is. So it's not as bad as The Boys or Watchmen or anything like that when it comes to gore. But there was this one sequence we weren't expecting where we were literally like, we weren't expecting that. But talking about choreography, I will say there wasn't as much fighting as you would expect in a series that's about superheroes. And that's not actually necessarily a bad thing. The story and the characters are the focal points of this series. As much as there are superheroes that save people, the main story is about their personal relationships with one another. It's ultimately an older generation of superheroes handing over the mantle to a younger generation. And is that younger generation ready to accept that mantle and also a serious clashing of ideology, which was my favorite aspect of this entire series. The original members of the Union had a code that they stuck to, and it worked for them while they were still, the primary superheroes. But with recent developments and how the world is changing and how everything is happening, that code is now being questioned. And I feel like that's a great representation of the Western world and how the Western world is actually shifting its entire understanding of what they believe is right and just. I don't know if you picked up on that, but that's all that was going through my head at all. And this idea that what is right, what is good. The Utopian actually questions himself at one point, saying, what is the point of being good? And when you have a character who's basically Superman questioning himself, I thought that was really cool and really awesome. So talking about the Utopian, which is a character I flipping loved, I mentioned how he's basically Superman. I'm just going to get into a little bit of like a character motivations or character study analysis right now. But basically, the Utopian is Superman. But the biggest difference is the Utopian doesn't have that strong father figure that Superman has. If you watch any Superman movie, you realize that he's got two fathers who loved him. You've got Jor-El and you've got Jonathan Kent. And unfortunately, Jonathan Kent does die, but he's able to impart really important lessons to Kal-El. And so when Clark also grows up, and he's also got his Fortress of Solitude, so he's able to go to his Kryptonian father and ask for guidance. The Utopian doesn't have that. And it shines through when he's constantly doubting himself, he's questioning himself, he's asking himself what is good, what is right. And he is such a complex character. All the characters in the series are so well thought out. The development is insane. The characters are analyzed. I thought the character motivations were so well thought out. And ultimately how the characters developed throughout the series was so incredibly interesting. I was sitting on the edge of my seat the entire time wanting to know what happens next.
They were very believable.
Yes.
Like at no point was I like, this doesn't make sense or this isn't something that I can relate to. Like everything felt real, which is something that you often lose in the superhero genre. Things feel so detached from reality, but this grounds you in both our reality and the reality that these characters live in.
The biggest separation between these superheroes and superheroes from DC or Marvel is that they are still 100% human. And that was what made them so relatable. So the relationship between the Utopian and Paragon is a great one. I love father-son dynamics in films. And so when you throw superpowers into that and you throw responsibility into that, it's really interesting and it's a lot of fun to watch. Costumes. Let's talk about costumes.
Yeah, obviously, as a cosplayer, whenever I watch any kind of film or television property, without even thinking, my eyes go straight to what are the characters wearing, how is that made, how is that translated, and I did a ton of research leading up to Jupiter's Legacy's, like, us receiving it.
Yeah.
And what the comics look like and how that translated from comic book to screen. And the costume designers and the team that made these costumes did an insane job. I can't say it any other way.
So very often you have these concepts, like let's think about Aquaman's costume in the comics. And like nobody believed Aquaman's costume could be adapted well to screen until Aquaman actually came out. It's exactly the same. When I was reading the comics doing research for this, I was literally thinking, how are they going to adapt these costumes onto screen? And they did a fantastic, phenomenal job. I think they've added in so many extra details.
Oh my goodness. The details and the sacred geometry that is in every single one of these costumes is mind-blowing.
Yeah. This was just a great series all around.
It was. I have no complaints.
Yeah. We haven't even touched on performances yet, which, we've spoken about how the characters feel real. A large part of why they feel so real is because the actors that portrayed them did such a good job of grounding them in reality and giving them emotions. When they were angry, you could see they were angry. When they were upset, you could see they were upset. When they were emotional, they were like very emotional. Yeah. It's just, I had so much fun in regards to just watching the series. As a superhero fan, watching superheroes either save the day or battle their personal demons was so interesting. I think if you're a fan of basically like anything actually in regards to Zack Snyder's DCEU, whether that's Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, or his version of Justice League, you get those moments of character introspection where characters like really start to doubt themselves. And that happened a lot with Superman in both Man of Steel and Batman vs. Superman. And you also get that kind of introspection in Watchmen. And you get that a lot in this series as well. So I think if you enjoyed pretty much any superhero property,
I think anyone can enjoy this. Like, it caters. I mean, I have my family that are looking forward to this. I think my dad has like this opposition to superhero movies for some reason.
Oh, he doesn't like superheroes. He doesn't like superhero movies if there's more than one. He's like, if there's more than one superhero, I don't care. So you can't get him to watch the Avengers or Batman vs Superman or anything.
He wants to watch this.
Yeah, and that's an indication that it's good.
Yeah, so it's not even a generational thing.
Yes.
It is something that is made for everyone.
I was watching other Netflix series to review them as well this last week, and the whole time I was watching them, I was just thinking, this isn't as good as Jupiter's Legacy. I want to rewatch Jupiter's Legacy. Sorry, I'm going through my notes and I realized we have left out cinematography. This is not traditional filmmaking, I believe. They use so much like shaky cam, Dutch tilts, everything, but to such great effect. There was never just one simple shot, like for example this, where we're center frame, oh, this looks nice. Yeah. And they had, every angle was, you can see, was well thought out, it was planned. When someone was feeling stressed or emotional, the camera would, you could feel the emotion of the scene just by how the camera was moving. And I just loved that from a filmmaking point of view. That was so much fun to just watch, and it was so cool. And yeah, I just thought the series was great. That's my final opinion.
It's one of the best things that Netflix has put out
in
a long time.
Yes. Okay, but guys, that's our review, I guess. We cannot wait for season 2.
Guys, when you get to watch this, watch it. Watch it.
It's really
Don't
good.
hesitate. When it pops up on Netflix's home screen, click that play button.
I agree. But guys, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do. Then jump across to my gorgeous fiance's YouTube channel and her Instagram page and just like and follow and do all of that wonderful stuff because she's the best. She's awesome. But guys, thank you so much for watching this video. You guys are also the best. You guys are also awesome. I've just got a bunch of awesome people in this video and watching this video. But guys, thank you so much. You're awesome. And we hope to see you again in another review.